Envelopes and why they matter. Hi, I'm Bill Carmody, and today I'm going to talk to you about envelopes and why they matter. It's just an envelope. It holds the letter. The letter is what's important, right? Wrong. Unfortunately, when somebody just sees a generic letter, they oftentimes do not give it the attention it deserves. So part of what the importance of an envelope is to make sure that at a minimum, it looks professional, and at best, it gets your attention. Think about the outside of an envelope like the subject line of an email. It's the first impression. When somebody looks at a piece of junk mail, they think junk mail, and they're like in a very different frame of mind. When somebody looks at a professional letter, they're like, oh, this is interesting. That's why, for example, when you handwrite on the outside of a letter, it gets more attention than something that's word processed, because word process can be printed out and sent out all over the world, and there's no human connection to any of it. If you wanted like an outside of a letter to be written to a very important person that you want to read your letter, if you legibly handwrite the letter, you're more likely to have them open it and read it, because they know you took the time to handwrite it, so they should take the time to pay attention to it. That's typically what's happening subconsciously. If you cannot do that because there's just too many people you're sending mail to, then at least make your envelope interesting. Do you have a cool color? Is there a graphic? Is there something that catches their attention? Is there some aspect of this envelope that's interesting? Maybe teases them about what's inside. You want to think about that, because your envelope actually has an impact, because it's the first impression. When I wanted to make sure a really important letter got to a chief executive officer, I sent it via FedEx. Now that cost me like $15, $20. That's a lot of money for one letter, but I did it because it got past all the gatekeepers. The envelope was, this is urgent. And so the assistant said, this is for you, it's urgent. Now, sometimes their assistants are instructed to open those letters and they're seeing them ahead of time, but more often than not, when something on the outside looks important and urgent, it gets to the exact right person it's supposed to get to. I'm just using that as an example, because your envelopes do matter and they do make an impact on the work that you're doing. So keep that in mind the next time you put your letter in an envelope.